What's up, guys?
What's going on? We were worried, 4 decisions. Maybe you'd go a little lighter this week, but no, still a lot of contracts. So what did you think overall of the night?
Awesome. Listen, man, I told you guys for I don't know how many years now. What are we on here? Season 5?
I think, yeah.
It's awesome, man. I could do this every Tuesday. I love these fights. These are the best unsigned kids out there. The matchmaking is incredible, and fights are really good. So, we'll see how these guys do in the UFC.
Yeah. What'd you think of AJ? Obviously, he's the one that got the finish. I mean, they came out there fighting like crazy. I mean, do you recommend guys go do nutty things like that to start out with, or?
Listen, I recommend you just come in and be who you are and do what you do, and we'll take a look at it and see if you fit. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I loved about him. This guy didn't make weight. They said he literally didn't give a shit. He could care less whether he made weight, and he came in and he fought his ass off. He tried to finish. He never stopped the entire time. When he sunk in the choke, I was like, he's not going to get him with that. And he got him. The guy was aggressive, kept fighting, and how do you not give that guy a shot? You gotta.
I saw a lot of debate, questions. If his opponent had won, would you even consider him for a contract? When a guy misses weight, especially during COVID and all, I mean, do you automatically write him off as no way, or do you still?
If you can't make weight to get into the Contender series, yeah, you're a nightmare I'm not looking for.
Fair enough. I did want to ask you about Morales. That's the one I wasn't sure about, right? Because he looks very, very talented, but he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's clear that dude has a big upside.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to do it in the UFC, right, at a young age. So how difficult of a decision was that one?
Here's the thing. He's 22 years old. Normally, I wouldn't take a kid that young. He's 12-0. He's 12-0. And I'm telling you, this kid that he fought, I got him in Houston at looking for a fight. And you were all here. You saw it. That guy came to win tonight. Not to mention the fact that that's like a 30-year-old man against this 22-year-old kid. And I literally see signs of possible greatness in this kid. If this kid can keep his head together, not lose his fucking mind, and dealing with fame is very hard for a lot of people. And as you start to become more famous, you get in the big show, a lot of doors open up for you that normally wouldn't have opened up for you. And if he can keep it all together, what the hell is this kid going to, first of all, what's his record going to be? And what's he going to look like when he's 26, 27, 28 years old? Those are all the things that remain to be seen.
Yeah, no doubt. I did want to ask you about one fighter that lost, Jacob Rosales, in the first fight. I know you went to go check on him. He was injured, I think broke his arm. I just want to ask you about guys that come here multiple times. I mean, do you see a limit on times that you can get a shot at the Contender series? I mean, can guys come back 3, 4, 5 times?
Yeah, no. I mean, if you leave, see, that's one of the things I was saying that tonight. One of the things that you guys as the media need to start looking at is these are possible fights of the year, possible rounds of the year, knockouts of the year, and things like that in this fight. These are the best kids that are out there that are unsigned. And when you come in, you're fighting the other best kids that are out there. I mean, some of these kids that are coming in are undefeated or only have one loss. And then you lose and you go back out and you keep winning. No, yeah, you come back and, this isn't like the NFL. You get one shot and you never get heard of again. You keep doing your thing and keep improving and keep winning. You can work your way back to the show.
Very nice. Last one's for me. We got a big pay-per-view obviously coming up this weekend. I did want to ask for 2 quick updates. One, we saw a report today that Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz was going to be a middleweight fight rather than a welterweight fight. Can you tell us?
Yeah, so I just got home. I was gone I left after the fight Saturday. I went to Boston for a couple days and just got back a couple hours ago. Robbie Lawler texted me that he'll hit me when he lands. So Robbie wants to talk to me about this whole thing. So this all happened when I was out of town this weekend. So, yeah, I know that the Diaz camp wants to fight at 85.
We're just waiting to find out if Robbie's okay with that. And then the last thing I want to ask you, and you may not know since just getting back, but Dan Hooker, Nasrat Haqparast, both having visa issues. Do we know where that stands?
Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Do we know if one or both is going to be able to compete, or if they're
don't know
yet?
We're working on it. We should be able to get this done. I'm hoping we can. I mean, you guys have no idea how much shit we deal with visas and all this kind of stuff. And we got a really good team that saves our ass on a lot of shows. So we should be able to get this done. I'm confident we can.
They've done it. Just wanted to follow up on that Nick Diaz situation. Do we know the reason why he wants to fight at 185?
Do you think that what?
Why does Nick want to fight at 185?
Why do they want to?
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. He probably doesn't want to make weight. Listen, every time you're coming into a Diaz fight, you know what I mean? And we forget because we haven't seen Nick in a few years.
All right. Jon Jones, it's the 8th anniversary of his fight with Alexander Gustafsson today. That fight's going into the Hall of Fame later this week. Any plans on meeting with Jon to talk about his career this week?
I'm sorry, which fight?
Jon Jones versus Alex Gustafsson.
Gustafsson, yeah.
It's going in the Hall of Fame this week, and Jon's going to come into town.
Yeah.
Are you planning on meeting with him at all?
I think I know what, if I see him, I'll see him. We're not having a meeting, but I think we know where he's at. He said he'll fight next year. So I'm not pushing him to fight, no.
Thank you.
If that's what you're asking me.
Yeah. Oh, the last thing I wanted to ask about the Contender series again. We saw a lot of guys who won contracts last week already booked in new fights. Are you finding that guys are coming onto this show and realizing that the best way for them to make an impact is to take another fight as soon as they can?
No. What's the question?
So are you finding that guys are more willing to fight more frequently now because they've seen other guys do it, they know that's what you like to see? Are you finding guys who get contracts turn around and say, I want to fight right away?
Oh, no, I think it's not about it's what I like to see. I think what it is guys realize that it's the thing. If you look at my boy Big Mouth,
Kevin
Holm.
huh?
Holm.
Yes. Look at what he did. You know what I mean? How that whole thing played out between he and I. Then he ends up coming into the UFC. You know how much money that kid's made? You know, it's crazy. You know, you stay active. You're a professional fighter. That's what you do. And if you can fight often, you should. You make more money, right? You get paid a lot more money, and you burn out your contracts faster, right? Which you keep going like this, and. So one day I'm on Instagram, right? And he and I, after that, became close. So, you know, we would talk and stuff. And I see this kid, and he's buying all these shoes. I'm like, holy shit. Like expensive shoes, like Nikes that you can't get your fucking hands on, and they're really expensive. And then he starts buying muscle cars and all this stuff. So I called Hunter, and I said, hey, pull the numbers on him. What? I said, holy shit, that's how much fucking money? No wonder why this kid's buying muscle cars and all this stuff. So the bottom line is the more you fight, the more people see you, the more famous you become. And obviously if you keep winning, you work your way up and you make a shitload of money. Why would you not?
Is that just what you think that's a common mistake? Some guys we see, they sit out because they think they'll get a title shot or they think things will work out their way. You think that's a mistake?
There's so many, yes. There's so many different reasons where guys will sit out and not fight. And you know how many guys I've had from the past that have called me and said, I fucked up. I made a lot of mistakes. I wish I could do it over again. You know, but you can't. You know, you come here and you have these opportunities, man. You should, as long as you believe in yourself and believe that you can win fights, you should fight as much as you possibly can.
Thank you.
Dana, back here. You're speaking very highly of Michael Morales tonight, and would you say he's one of the most impressive guys you've ever seen on the Contender series?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't hear well, and it's super echoey in here today, so it's a mess. I would say. You know, if you look at his age, his record, and this tough kid he just fought, yeah, he's one of the most impressive for sure. That's why I said I literally see signs of possible greatness in this kid. There's just so many things that can happen from tonight to the next 3 years, and hopefully it doesn't. I've seen it happen to so many other kids. And dealing with fame, and once all this shit starts to happen, you know, that's why I'm always so blown away by LeBron James. If you look at LeBron James and how young he came into the NBA and what he's done and what he's accomplished, and no matter how much money he's made, he's never in trouble, and he's always trying to be better and always trying to win. You know, when you have that type of a mentality like a LeBron James, sky's the limit, man. And the same thing with the fight business.
And unrelated, but this week, it was yesterday maybe, you guys officially announced the Holm and Norma Dumont fight at Featherweight. Just kind of curious what the thought process was behind that one. Because, Holly, former champ, Norma just got a win over Felicia Spencer at Featherweight. Like, how'd that one come together?
Yeah, what do I think of that fight? Yeah, we were literally in matchmaking today talking about that fight. It's going to be interesting. We had our own ideas of how we thought that fight might go, but I won't share that with you. But listen, obviously we like the fight. That's why we made it, and I'm curious to see how that plays out.
And the last thing for me, old buddy Yoel Romero just suffered another loss on Saturday. Curious, if you saw the fight and what you thought of Yoel's performance.
Oh yeah, that's what I needed now. The air conditioning. That's the fucking cherry on the sundae right there. I literally heard nothing you said, sir. What was that? Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see the fight. I heard that Romero thought it was 3 rounds and not 5. I mean, this is all typical Romero stuff. He was awesome to deal with. Awesome. He's a nice guy. I like him. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but yeah.
Thanks.
Good luck, Bellator.
Dana, right over here on your left.
Yep.
Dana, at a boxing press conference today, Canelo went at Caleb Plant, landed a shot, cut him open. You've been there for a lot of press conferences, a lot of face-offs. Bluntly, do people behave a lot better when the big boss is right there between everybody?
Well, I'm not surprising. Shit show time they're great. Those guys are really good at what they do. From production to press conferences, they're fucking awesome.
Thank you.
How long have you been in the business that you would let 2 fighters go up to each other face to face without somebody there to try to, and then when it breaks out, there's like 2 women that are there in between them before there's a man anywhere near it. You couldn't be fucking dumber than what they did today. Risk a massive fight, with one of the biggest stars in the sport by not having the fighter safe. You can't let 2 alpha males walk up to each other face to face, at the fucking supper club or wherever the hell they were today having that press conference, and let 2 guys, stare down without somebody there to break it up. But they're awesome. They do a great job at everything they do, so it's not shocking. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Aiden, just one question. December, I know we've asked you about it in the past. I don't think you've ever been a big fan of custom rules, mixing up partial like Muay Thai and like a MMA. December 5th, Demetrius Johnson is fighting Rod Tang in a custom bout. Starts off in Muay Thai the first round and then goes to MMA. Would the UFC ever do any sort of crazy mix mash thing like that where you might do a custom rules if you have 2 champs that are willing to do it? And in addition, how do you think that fight, if you know who Rod Tang's skills, how do you think that fight will play out for DJ?
Let me ask you, do you think I should?
I would love to get your thoughts.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, people, listen, it's like when people ask me about music, like playing live music at the shows. There's a completely different mindset that I have when I go to a concert than when I go to a fight. You know what I'm saying? And when you put 20,000 people in a stadium, the odds that all 20,000 people are going to like the same music is highly unlikely. You know what I mean? It's like if you and I go to an AC/DC concert, we're going to see AC/DC. We like AC/DC, right? If you and I go to an AC/DC concert, And I don't know. Yeah, fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something funny, but I couldn't. Somebody comes out that we're not into. It's just a completely different vibe. When we go to fights, and there's different types of fights, right? There's people that are chomping at the New York fight sold out in hours. Okay, we put that thing on sale, sold out in hours. Now, there's other people that would want to go to a different fight. Different people like different things. When you try to mix match all this stuff, if I want to go to a Muay Thai fight, I'll go see one. It's like if I want to go to a boxing match. If I'm going to pay money and go see a boxing match, there's a certain fight that I want to see. The last one I went to was Fury Wilder 2, was the last boxing match that I went to. I wanted to see it, brought my son, we went together. You don't see me at every fight. I just think that mixing those things up is weird and won't work. But if you have a company and you're bleeding money, you start throwing the kitchen sink at the thing. You start trying to figure out anything to make it work. And that's not a dig. It's just, that's what you got to do when you're in business and shit isn't working. You got to figure out, I don't know, different ideas to make it work. Maybe that's what they're doing. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dana, thanks for taking the time. Speaking of matchmaking, what was the thought process to make the Figueiredo and Brandon trilogy?
Yeah, so we had the, oh God, what fight did we have? We were going to make another fight. Pantoja, yes, thank you. And I don't know if he got hurt. Something happened. I can't remember what happened with him. So when he fell out of the fight, we went with the third fight. It was the only thing that made sense, and both guys wanted it. So you know what I mean. Moreno wanted it, just like Figueiredo wanted it.
Then it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Will that co-main possibly Gagey and or getting ahead of myself?
Will that co-main?
Would that co-main event Gagey and Poirier? I'm sorry, Charles and Poirier.
I know what you're saying. I don't know yet. I don't know.
And lastly, if Moreno stays with the belt and you maybe even get a Brian Ortega, how soon do you guys go to Mexico or something like this with Mexican-American champions?
If Moreno wins or Brian Ortega wins, how soon do you think you go to Mexico for a title fight?
I don't know, man. I'm worried about New York right now. You know what I mean? As long as we can get through New York unscathed, I'll be very happy. I'm not even thinking about other countries right now. But believe me, as soon as we can go to England, Mexico, all these different places, I will be first and will be the first one over there to do it. It's like what's going on this year. I felt absolutely confident and safe in Texas, Florida, Arizona, and Vegas. I knew that once we invested the money to put these fights on, it would happen. The likelihood of them falling apart was very slim. I'm not willing to make that type of an investment yet in other countries.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good? Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
But it sells.
Exactly. I think that's a lot of.
Well, imagine if Robbie's already 178.
That's just a lot.
What's up, guys?
Much, man. Congratulations, obviously in order. Man, I know it's still probably processing and going through it all, but what are the emotions like for you right now?
Man, I'm super happy. I remember I fought for my first title a couple years back, and I had a talk with Coach Safe, and he told me this is a 10-year plan, and man, this is basically what this was, a 10-year plan, you know. And I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to get signed to the UFC, and it's crazy because I'm always here, but I'm in the back supporting my coach. And now I'm here in the front, you know what I mean? And he's there supporting me. And, man, it's an awesome feeling to finally, it's a dream come true, you know? And I made it into reality. And I couldn't have done it without the help of my training partners out there in Fortis. Coach Safe, my coach, Carlos Diego, all my training partners at Team Ferreira. Man, like it's a team thing, you know. It's not just me, and I gotta thank all of them too for helping me out.
That's awesome. And it was a heck of a fight to get it done too. It didn't come easy, right? You got tested, you got pushed.
Yeah.
Were you expecting to be in that type of a brawl tonight?
We did expect that. My coach had told me expected to be a fight, you know, and well, going into the first round, I know he dropped me. I don't know with what he dropped me with. I just remember seeing blinking, like blink, and then I was on the floor and I was like, oh damn, I gotta get up. So I just started working my way up, but I mean, I got the win, you know, and I'm glad, and I even broke a record, you know, and I'm just excited and happy to be here.
Yeah. Can you talk about what the conversation was like between the end of the fight before the score was read? Did you guys think for sure, like, hey, we've definitely got this, or was there any concern that, like, ooh, I don't know about that one?
Well, I mean, I know my coaches were nervous, but I think that last takedown I got sealed the fight for me. And I do give him the first round. I think second and third, I closed it out. Yeah.
Yeah, no question. I'm sure you're going to want to rest, celebrate a little bit after a battle like that. But, I mean, how soon again are we talking about fighting? Is there a date on the calendar that you're looking at? What's the plan from here?
Well, they gave me a 30-day suspension, so I'm just going to heal up a little bit and talk to my coaches and see what they decide, you know. And but I mean, like the sooner the better, you know. I just I got a couple of bumps and bruises right now. I know he kicked me pretty hard on my knee, so I'm just gonna let it heal for a little bit and just go from there.
Awesome. Last thing for me, let us in on where the 10-year plan goes from here, man. You know, is it a quick rise up the UFC ranks, or do you feel like you got to build step by step? Where does it go?
No, I know I still got a lot to work on, and I'm gonna take it step by step. And I mean, it's no rush, you know. Take it step by step and go train up more at Fortis and get better, and just get better overall, you know. And let's just see where this 10-year plan goes, how much longer it goes. Yeah. All right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
fazer a pergunta para você, eu vou traduzir a pergunta, você responde, eu traduzo a resposta. Ok, tá bom? Quando a pergunta for em português, só me dá um tempo para eu colocar em inglês para todo mundo entender. Tá?
Okay, so congratulations. I'm sure you're still kind of processing everything and enjoying the moment. What are the emotions now that you have a UFC deal?
Parabéns, antes de mais nada. Você deve estar ainda processando, digerindo a informação. Como é que você se sente de ser um lutador do UFC com esse contrato?
Realmente a ficha não caiu ainda, mas eu estou me sentindo muito feliz e grato pela oportunidade.
As we say in Brazil, the coin hasn't dropped yet on the payphone. That's what we say. Hey, I haven't processed this yet. It's still very news to me, but very thankful and very happy to have gotten the contract.
That's awesome. Overall, obviously, you were facing a tough guy. You did a great job of managing range, but I know he was dangerous. You had to be careful as well. So how did you feel about the way the fight played out?
Você sabe que era uma luta dura e você falou muito sobre a distância, como você conseguiu manter a distância. Como é que você descreveria como é que a luta acabou acontecendo, do que você estava planejando, o que aconteceu?
Realmente, né, o Santo Curatolo é um cara que é muito explosivo, agressivo, né, e tem uns golpes curtos que nocauteia. E minha técnica, minha estratégia era essa mesmo, manter a distância e ir chutando, minando ele até ele ceder a luta.
We were aware that Santo actually was a very explosive, very aggressive fighter that in short range can really knock you out. So our game was always to keep that distance to prevent that from happening, and I think that we were able to accomplish that by keeping the distance and trying to kick him away to make sure that that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I thought you fought perfect. I was curious, were you frustrated at all that maybe he wasn't engaging as much as you would have thought? Then you don't get to show off your skills as much.
Você teve uma luta perfeita, mas você ficou frustrado que teve uma hora que ele não estava partindo para cima o suficiente para você mostrar aquilo que você pode mostrar?
Sim, eu acredito que eu poderia ter mostrado um pouco mais, né, meu talento, poderia ter colocado mais para baixo, poderia ter pegado ele no contragolpe ali, mas ele não desenvolveu, não sei, ficou travado e aconteceu. E eu estou muito feliz, né, com a performance que eu tive.
Yeah, it was frustrating because I did want to show us some stuff, maybe take him down, maybe use some counters, but it didn't develop like that. But still, very happy to get the win.
Yeah. Curious moving forward. I mean, a lot of people are impressed with your size in the division. Are you a flyweight for your whole career, or do you think bantamweight is going to have to be a move at some point?
Muita gente olha para você e fala, pô, o cara fode para categoria. Você vai ser um peso mosca ou peso galo de repente? Como é que você se vê?
Eu quero me manter, né, minha categoria é 57 kg mosca, eu me sinto forte e eu perco pouco peso, né, eu perco aproximadamente 8 quilos e eu me sinto muito bem para essa categoria.
Feel really good about this division. I want to keep in the division, and I don't lose that much weight. Maybe when I lose weight, I weigh like 8 kilos. So you're talking about double that in pounds. But I want to keep in the same division for now.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess, what's the ideal scenario for your UFC debut? I'm sure you're healthy right now, so are you looking to fight quickly? Is there a date? Is there an opponent? What's the debut?
Qual que é o cenário ideal para tua estreia no UFC? Você tá saudável, você tá tranquilo, tem um oponente, tem uma data que você acha que seria legal para você começar a lutar?
Não tem uma data específica, né, mas estou aguardando aí. Acredito que logo eu vou poder estar em ação novamente.
No specific date, but I just gotta wait, and I mean, I do believe that pretty soon I'm going to be fighting.
Cleidson,
Oi.
tudo bom?
Ótimo.
Fazer em português. Cleidson, há quase 2 anos sem lutar, você enfrentou a pandemia, esse período todo. Foi um grande desafio. Qual foi o grande desafio, né, para se preparar tanto tempo sem lutar, para fazer talvez a luta mais importante da sua vida?
2 years without fighting, going through the pandemic like so many people, it's a challenge to actually be possibly out of shape. And how do you prepare after such a hiatus to fight the most important fight in your life?
Com certeza, né, essa pandemia afetou muitos atletas, principalmente os atletas que estão começando. E eu sempre mantive a cabeça em pé, tentando treinar, focar. E graças a Deus, né, cheguei aqui e tive a oportunidade de estar assinando meu contrato.
Of course, this pandemic actually it hampered a lot of efforts, especially athletes that were beginning. But just kind of keeping my head high, always training, and very happy to have the opportunity and make it happen.
Essa foi sua segunda vitória por decisão. Você com um atleta, como o Dana White falou, jovem, muito agressivo. Essa mistura de juventude com agressividade, a gente já viu muitas vezes no esporte o quão é difícil, às vezes, para o atleta lidar com isso, né? Conter o ímpeto.
Sim.
Para você estrear com uma vitória por decisão, foi difícil conter esse ímpeto e ter a paciência e a sabedoria ali na hora?
A fight that it was by decision, and as Dana said, you're very young, very aggressive, and for a young and aggressive athlete, how hard is it to actually keep things at bay and make sure that that's not actually it plays in a negative as far as you're fighting? How do you contain yourself not to be overly aggressive?
Essa agressividade, né, cara, acredito que vem assim da cultura do norte. A gente é muito agressivo desde cedo, né, desde criança, sempre ali tentando fazer algum tipo de esporte, nadando e sempre na ativa, fazendo, entendeu, esporte. Eu acredito que essa agressividade aí é o sangue do norte mesmo, e é isso.
This aggressiveness is actually very natural to the Brazilian North. We are always active. We're swimming. We're doing any kind of sport, and I do think that is kind of the blood of the north of Brazil, and that's me, and that's who I am.
Para finalizar, se os fãs que vão te conhecer a partir de hoje, como você quer marcar a sua carreira, pelo menos o início dela no UFC? Qual a marca você quer apresentar para os seus fãs que te conhecem a partir de agora?
For the fans that are getting to know you now, what is the mark that you want to leave, who you want to be, a legacy? How should they recognize you going forward?
Acredito que a humildade, né? A humildade a gente consegue alcançar muitos lugares. E eu acredito que através da minha humildade aí, com os pés no chão, aí eu quero conquistar muitos fãs e permanecer no UFC.
Just keeping very humble. I think that people will notice that I am very humble, and with this, having that behavior, I plan to continue and stay in the UFC for a long time. Yeah.
Congrats on the win. Felicidades. Luckily, the referee took that point. But we've seen fights end off of bad eye pokes. How much of a factor was it? Double vision, anything?
Por sorte, o árbitro só deu um ponto ali, tá? Mas a gente tem visto muita luta terminar por conta de dedo no olho. Teve algum efeito ali naquela hora, quando aconteceu, quando entrou? Você estava tranquilo?
Não entendi.
Teve muita luta que terminou com o dedo no olho.
Sim.
Você, em algum momento, você sentiu alguma coisa durante a luta nesse sentido?
Não.
Não teve nenhum tipo de nada. Tá. No feeling whatsoever. I mean, everything was fine.
Excellent. Congrats on the win. Buena luta. Obrigado.
Parabéns.
Thank you.
por algún acaso alguna pregunta es en español, dame un tiempo solo para ponerle en inglés para todos que están. ¿Ok? ¿Estás tranquilo? ¿Todo bien? Go ahead.
Well, congratulations on the victory and, of course, the UFC contract. What's the emotion like for you right now?
Felicidades por la victoria, obviamente, el contrato del UFC. ¿Cómo te sientes ahora?
No, sumamente feliz. Como lo dije anteriormente, no solo yo, sino mi país entero está celebrando. Sé que en Tijuana, en México, están celebrando. Entonces, estoy sumamente feliz de haber obtenido una gran oportunidad como esta.
Extremely happy, and as I mentioned before, it's not just that I'm celebrating. My country is celebrating, and all of those in Mexico as well have taken me in. Just very happy, extremely happy with having an opportunity like this.
Very nice. Certainly an impressive performance, but not an easy fight against a very tough opponent. So how did you feel about your performance tonight?
Sí, un rendimiento muy bueno, obviamente un performance tremendo contra un adversario que es difícil. ¿Cómo fue, en verdad? ¿Puedes hablar un poco de la lucha? ¿Cómo fue por el hecho de que no fue algo tan fácil?
Sí, Nicolai es una persona súper experimentada, ha entrenado mucho, se ha enfrentado a peleadores muy fuertes, pero yo también entreno con gente fuerte. Es una casa de puro peleador loco, entonces se trabaja en equipo. Tenemos a un gran profesor que es Raúl, tenemos a un gran representante que es Brandon, entonces entrenamos con gente de nivel, con gente muy fuerte. El trabajo duro es el lema de Entran, entonces así es todos los días. Y pues yo confío en mi trabajo, confío en mi esquina y confío en mí mismo, y por eso salí con la victoria.
He's a very tough fighter. He has faced a lot of good opponents that prepared him. He's very experienced. But I have faced very good fighters as well. I train in a house full of very, very crazy people. And it's not just having confidence in myself, but I have confidence in myself, in Raul, my coach I mentioned before, and the people that I train with, against. And we have a very good coach, who's Raul, and a good representative, Brandon Moreno. So we are very happy to have represented this. We're very confident at the work. We put in the work all the time. We're always working. It's very technical, and we think that it pays off at the end.
Yeah, no question. I guess physically, how did you come out tonight? We know you got the ear issue. I see the crutch up there. So, I mean, physically, how are you at this point?
Físicamente, ¿cómo estás? Porque estás con la oreja también y con la pierna. ¿Cómo te sientes físicamente?
No, ahorita el dolor es lo de menos. Estoy muy feliz, de verdad, muy feliz. Pues este es un deporte sumamente agresivo y para eso estamos, para eso entrenamos. Es el día a día en el Entran. Es un día normal de entrenamiento. Entonces, aquí venimos a darlo todo y pues nosotros estamos trabajando duro para peleas duras, entonces para eso estamos.
I know this is an aggressive sport. I mean, first of all, pain is a minor thing right now. I'm not feeling any pain. This is an aggressive sport. People are aggressive. That's what we come here for. That's what we're going to be doing going forward. And we sign up for this.
When Dana was back here, he said that while you're very young, he sees the potential for greatness in you. When you hear that from him, how does that make you feel?
Dana, cuando estaba acá atrás y también cuando estaba allá, cuando anunció el resultado, mencionó no solo que sos joven, pero también que ve algo grande en vos. ¿Cómo te sientes de saber eso de Dana White?
Pues sumamente feliz. Esto es algo que me apasiona sumamente y es un orgullo gigante para mi país, y que Dana se diga esas palabras sobre mí significa que estamos haciéndolo bien, que Latinoamérica lo está haciendo bien, y pues vamos a seguir mejorando. Yo sé que van a salir más ecuatorianos, más mexicanos, más gente latina va a salir hacia adelante, y pues con tremendo equipo que viene detrás de mí, yo sé que vamos a dar mucha más pelea.
Extremely happy and extremely thankful to hear that. It means a lot, not just for our country, but for Mexico as well. And I know that the work that we've been putting in is going to pay off, not just for myself, for Ecuador, for Mexico, but for a Latin American fighter as well. I think a lot of them have the potential to get to this point, and we're going to continue to work, and you're going to see more of us coming forward.
That's awesome. Last thing for me, what's the ideal scenario for your UFC debut? Do you have a date that you'd like to fight? Is there a name that you'd like to fight? What's the next move for you?
Una última cosa, bueno, tu escenario ideal para empezar el UFC? ¿Ya tienes más o menos una fecha o cuándo podrías luchar de nuevo? ¿Cómo ves tu debut oficial en el UFC? ¿O cuánto rápido puede ser eso?
Pues apenas me recupere, porque hay que recuperarse un poquito después de una pelea, entonces ya apenas esté entrenando de nuevo, qué sé yo, en 2 semanas, 3 semanas, me preparo una vez más de nuevo. Todo lo que diga mi coach, yo le hago caso. Y pues primero quiero darle la alegría a mi mamá de llegar a abrazarla y decirle que su hijo está dando pequeños pasos, pero haciendo grandes cosas. Y pues nada, quisiera que sea pronto y pues poder hacer mi gran debut.
I mean, as soon as possible, but obviously you have to give time to recover. And of course, I will give time to recover, like 2 weeks, and I can surely be ready to fight. I think that I listen a lot to my coaches, so I'm going to follow what they say about this and a possible date. I want to give my mom the pleasure of hugging her son, and I want to say that I'm taking small steps towards big things.
Felicidades, Morales, con el triunfo.
Muchas gracias.
Para la gente que no conoce conoce muy bien tu historia, ¿cómo fuiste de Ecuador a México? Y hay posibilidad en el futuro de que te relocalices a los Estados Unidos para mejorar tu carrera de arte marcial mixta.
First of all, congratulations. For those of you who don't know your story and your history, how was moving from Ecuador to Mexico? And then, do you see yourself relocating to the United States of America in the future to further that process?
Pues todo se dio por unos compañeros de Ecuador que viajaron conmigo a Tijuana. Ellos se comunicaron con el profe Raúl Arbizu, entonces él nos dio la bienvenida a Entram. Entonces ellos conversaron conmigo para viajar. Todo fue de un día a otro. Le dije, mamá, voy a viajar a México un día anterior y pues me dio su bendición, viajé, el profe Raúl nos trató de una manera increíble y pues pienso quedarme en Entram, pienso en seguir entrenando en Tijuana, en México, planeo quedarme ahí y pues yo sé que Entram va a seguir creciendo y pues ese va a ser el hogar de grandes peleadores, gracias al profe Raúl, a Pitbull, a Brandon, todos ellos tienen un gran ejemplo que nos infunden a nosotros, entonces planeo quedarme en Tijuana, en México y seguir entrenando ahí y pues seguirle dando más triunfos a mi país.
The move actually happened because I went with some friends over to Mexico and we were just basically invited, so it was kind of overnight. So I called my mom and said, Mom, I'm coming over. And she said, I gave you my blessing. And I moved to Mexico and I do plan on staying there. I do plan because we are due for big things. I mean, you talk about Raul, our coach, you talk about Pitbull, you talk about Brandon Moreno, and we have these people that keep infusing this energy into us and inspiring us. So I do plan on staying there because we are due for big things, and that's at this point, that's what I will keep on doing.
Gracias. Hay peleadores de Ecuador, pero no tantos así que digas súper populares. Ahora ya llegaste al UFC, ya hay que tengan esa sangre de Ecuador como Carlos Esparza o como Marlon Chito Vera. Sí. ¿Cómo te sientes de poder tener esa bandera en alto y ser parte ahora de ese grupo de peleadores élites?
Yes, there are fighters in Ecuador, but there are not many of them that are super popular. Of course, there's Carlos Pasa, there's Chito Vera, but how do you feel about, waving that flag and representing a country now?
Pues sumamente orgulloso, vuelvo y repito, mi país es pequeño, pero tiene mucho talento, entonces fue duro dejarlo, también dejar Ecuador fue sumamente duro, decir me voy a Tijuana a entrenar a México. Pues, pero yo decidí seguir mis sueños y lo mismo le recomiendo a los chicos que viven en Ecuador, que tienen ese talento, esas ganas de salir adelante, salgan, exploren el mundo, sigan peleando por lo que les gusta, bueno, no solo por lo que les gusta, sino por todo lo que los apasiona. Entonces, estoy muy orgulloso de haber logrado tanto para mi país. Estoy muy feliz realmente, no contengo las ganas de llorar, de gritar, de decir, lo logramos, pero es algo que siempre he querido desde muy chico, lo cual es pelear para esta gran empresa que es UFC y pues aquí estamos dándolo todo y yo sé que los latinos vamos a dominar.
It's a great feeling to represent a country, and I would recommend that to all the children that have this passion, that have this fire, fight for for your passions, which is what I did. It pained me to leave and to go into another country to do this, but it was necessary, and I'm willing, and I recommend to people, young ones, explore the world, go after your dreams. It's worth it, because at this point I cannot contain myself. I'm trying to contain, laugh, cry, all my emotions, because a lot of stuff is going through right now, but extremely, extremely proud of being part of this, and continue to trace your dreams.
Y finalmente, Michael, es en tu categoría. Obviamente un día quieres llegar a ese escalón tras escalón, pero un pronóstico. ¿Qué va a pasar en la revancha de Usman contra Covington?
Pues
It's just because it's, of course, in your division. We just wanted to see your opinion. What is going to happen when Usman faces Covington in a rematch?
yo creo que el peleador que entrena, que se esfuerza, logra lo que quiere y pues ambos están demostrando lo mismo, entrenan por los que les gustan y esta va a ser una gran venganza para Covington, entonces yo me voy por Usman. Es un peleador sumamente fuerte y siempre está entrenando, está concentrado en lo suyo y pues le voy acá a Usman porque él sabe lo que es estar desde abajo, subir y pues sus sacrificios también, aunque no digo, sin menospreciar lo que hace también su rival, pero yo sé que van a salir con la victoria Usman.
I'm going for Usman on this one. I do believe that both fighters train a lot. They're very focused on what they do. They really fight for their passions, and they're very similar in that sense. I go for Usman because I really like his style, and I think he understands what it is to be down, to get back up again. It's not to put down his opponent in any way, shape, or form, but I do think that he's a very strong fighter, and I really appreciate him, and I just admire him.
Gracias, man, y bienvenido.
Muchas gracias.
AJ, congratulations. Not only a UFC contract, but obviously just a fantastic performance, the only finish of the night, the real highlight of the night. So how are you feeling right now?
It's surreal. I feel like a big knot has just been taken out of my chest. It's amazing.
Nice. Certainly you have a history of first-round finishes, but that was an absolutely insane start. Was that the plan going in, is to have a fight like that?
I usually don't fight like that. I'm usually a lot more technical, and I like to display my skills. But I saw there were no finishes, and I know the Contender series. Dana was saying he wants you to be exciting. Michael Bisping said you got to go video game style and try to go for the win. So I wanted to really, throw caution to the wind and give an exciting fight. Next fight, I'll be a little bit more technical, but I wanted to kind of just blow it out this first one.
Yeah, you definitely did that. I'm curious. Man, you were scoring on him so often, and he kept getting back, and he kept recovering. I know it's playing out really quickly, but at any point, is there kind of frustration? Like, what the heck do I got to do to make this guy stop?
Not at all. I knew he was really tough. I saw in one of his fights, he took 2 head kicks to the face and ended up winning that fight. So I knew he was going to be, a little bit Undertaker style. He was going to get up, but I knew I had a lot more for him. So
very nice. And the choke you finished off with, it sounds like you said that's really kind of your preferred position. I think we thought, he's never going to get that, but that's the way you like to finish it.
Yeah, that's my choke. I've actually finished a fight like that before. I'm really strong. I have really good strength and conditioning. So if I get any kind of opening, I know I can secure that rear naked choke at any position.
That's awesome. I think as soon as the fight ended, we all thought, shoe in, that's done. He's got his contract. Did you feel that way, or did you still think, I don't know, maybe I still got to watch?
I hope so. I was kind of in a daze. He did rock me a little bit. He caught me with something, so I was a little in a daze a little bit. But I knew I had the finish, and it was the only finish of the night. So I had a feeling I was going to get the contract.
So I know this has all happened quickly, but have you had a chance to speak to the family yet? Or are they happy for you? Or they still maybe want you to chase a dream different than fighting at some point?
Not yet. I haven't talked to my family yet. But it's too late now. I'm a signed UFC fighter, so we're going to go until the wheels fall off.
That's awesome. I guess last thing for me then, like you said, this was amazing. So what's the ideal scenario for your UFC debut? Are you hoping to book something quickly? Do you need some time to kind of prepare for it? Are there names you want to face? What's the ideal scenario?
Well, anything the UFC wants to do, it would be amazing if I can get on the card of my mentor, Matt Brown. That'd be a full circle dream come true. It'd be unbelievable. I definitely want to fight Brian Battle. I was actually supposed to be on The Ultimate Fighter. I had the opportunity to be on The Ultimate Fighter, and then I got the opportunity to be on the first week of Contender Series, and then they pushed it back to this week. So if I was on The Ultimate Fighter, there'd have been a different champion. And we both fought for a similar promotion, B2, and they got me ranked higher than him. So Brian Battle would be a great fight.
Sorry about that. How you doing, AJ? Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
You touched on it a bit. I want to ask you about that moment. He first goes down and you just bring down that hammer on him. Did you think that he was out? Because I honestly thought he got it right there. What was going on in that moment from your perspective?
I knew he was tough, and I knew I had to cook him a little bit. So I didn't want to rush it too bad. I knew he was going to be resilient. So no, I didn't think he was finished when he dropped. I knew he was going to come back. I knew I had to keep and stay on him. I was actually planning for a TKO. I didn't think I was be able to knock him out cold because he's so tough. But I ended up getting the submission, so that's better.
Contender Series is all about, the new upcoming talent, but you've got quite the cornerman with you there in the Hall of Famer, Mark Coleman. Can you just talk about what kind of lessons he gives to you as you embarked on this, Contender Series journey?
He's the best motivator. He's always in the gym. He's always giving me tidbits and advice. Between him and Matt Brown, I don't see anywhere I could lose.
Does the Hammer still get after it with you guys? Sparring? Does he still drill with everybody?
He still drills, and he is still the Hammer. He's still one of the strongest guys in the world. I'm so blessed to have him in my life.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.